Before we start today's video, just a quick reminder. Today is the last day for you to sign up for Rakuten and earn $40. If you don't know what Rakuten is, it's a real cashback app and it's currently having some insane deals. Macy's, Adidas, Nike, and you can even book vacations. Right now, there's 10 to 15% cashback on your entire purchase for many brands and stores. Who doesn't like free savings? It's the holiday shopping season, so if you're doing some Christmas shopping or planning for a trip, make sure you have Rakuten installed. Rakuten is having a special promotion right now, which of course ends today, where if you use my link, you can sign up for an account, make a purchase for $40, and you will get $40 in your Rakuten account. So click my link in the description and get your Rakuten account today and start saving. This girl is now being called Vampire Lady or Blood Tank Sister in China. She had a powerful sister-in-law who somehow was able to mobilize soldiers and firefighters and police in an entire prefecture in Tibet to donate blood to her after she got into a car accident. And internet users are furious. Welcome to China Insider, I'm David Zhang. Today we'll do the first topic about the Vampire Lady and then talk about the newest information related to the mystery pneumonia. Now, it's your average day in China. You just happen to stumble upon the most bizarre things. And it seems to be getting more frequent. A young woman named Yan Wenyu from Shanghai and her husband went on to Tibet for their honeymoon trip, and on their way back got into a car accident. Allegedly, the incident is due to impaired driving under high altitude conditions and a lack of oxygen. In this picture, you see her taking oxygen. Now, in order to save her after the accident, it was suspected that her sister-in-law somehow used her connection and power to mobilize the Shanghai Health Commission to ask the local firefighters, soldiers, and other civil servants like police to collectively donate blood to her. And so people started wondering, who is this powerful sister-in-law? And in fact, the couple's road trip took them straight from Shanghai all the way to Xinjiang and then around Tibet. And many wealthy people actually do this long journey via the road because they get to enjoy the beautiful mountains and lakes in the Xinjiang and Tibetan region. Now, I said that she got an entire prefecture to donate blood for her. Well, how big is this region are we talking about? Well, this is the Nagari region, which covers the western part of Tibet. Awesome, right? The local government, of course, refuted the rumor and said that it was the Shanghai Health Commission who contacted local health commission officials to ask for the blood donation. It wasn't through personal connection or anything like that. This is very important because that's a point of discussion and debate. Look, this was supposed to be a touching story. Had no one revealed the details of the incident, maybe people would believe, when she received blood donations, that it was a voluntary effort and that people were simply trying to help her to fight for her survival, to stay alive. But she had to post a short video, which really backfired. And it caused an uproar on the internet questioning her privileges. Her background is being questioned, but nobody knows who she is or who is in her family, as in who has the power. Who has the power, actually, to mobilize civil servants to do this for her? Unless, of course, she is from a family with an even more powerful ranking within the Communist Party. And it could be, the sister-in-law or somebody else. I couldn't really find out the person that has the power as we speak, but maybe it will come in the coming days. Now, there's no answer as to what the girl does either, and or who she is connected to, which is why netizens are questioning the identity of the sister-in-law. And of course, that's from the husband side. This mysterious sister-in-law with so much power, and who exactly is she? Now, after 3 days of receiving constant blood transfusion, and that's, of course, according to the chat screenshots she posted, the total volume of blood donated was around 7 liters. Now, keep in mind, a human body has a total blood volume of 5 liters, and her husband said that the entire prefecture's A-type blood was given to her. That's how she earned her nickname, Blood Tank Sister, or as I like to call her, Chinese Vampire Lady. Because her injuries were so bad, she was then flown on a Gulfstream 550 private jet to a hospital in Sichuan for further treatments. Now, according to her video, she even got a police escort to the hospital once she landed in Chengdu, which is of course something reserved for officials. Now, according to her medical discharge report, she was having non-stop internal bleeding and multiple organ injuries and ruptures and even failures. Now, that's a total of 30 life-threatening injuries, which of course also include things like arterial fracture in the liver area, heart irregularity, and much more. Now, this would explain why or partly explain why she needed 7 liters of blood to keep her alive for 4 days before she was taken to a better hospital. In other words, without the constant blood transfusion, she would be dead right now. Based off her discharge report, she was taken to the liver transplant ward, which sparks the question, did she get an organ transplant and how can it happen so quickly? I mean, on the report it says that she stayed in the hospital for 16 days. Of course, there was no mention of an organ transplant operation being done according to the screenshot, but it still remains a suspicion. Of course, not a confirmation. Now, the question is, as a doctor, if you hear that you have a patient who is getting flown from Tibet to come to this hospital, you're getting prepared for the worst based on the information that a patient is coming, potentially needing a new organ, right? Since there's 30 different things that's wrong with her after the accident. And so you're sending her directly to the organ transplant ward. That means you have organs ready to do it if needed. So that preparation process alone is scary because it means they have people ready to be killed for their organs. And because she was able to get such a special treatment in terms of the priority access, the ICU treatment, everything, and then having people kind of do the police escort and all of the above with the donation and stuff, people started to wonder, where does she get her special privileges compared to the hundreds of millions of Chinese people in the country who would never be able to experience that? That, of course, is sort of the center of this anger issue with the people online reacting to the video that she sent. Netizens are also criticizing the officials who simply, by being a Communist Party official member, that they enjoy better access to medical help, to social services, to things like a private jet access. And still, we don't know the identity of the sister-in-law, but we can guess just based on the things that she was getting, they're not ordinary people. Now, in the aftermath of the video, of course, it's since been deleted from her TikTok or Douyin account, the husband started getting interviews from the media, who, of course, spent a great effort trying to revive her beloved wife. Unfortunately, though, it made the entire situation even worse, and here's why. First, he denied that there's special privilege involved. He claims what was said about the blood transfusion in that chat screenshot that I was showing wasn't real. It was words of encouragement so that she would survive. I think the excuse is hilarious. The husband was boasting so much about having this sister-in-law who was able to help her with the situation and mobilize so many public servants just to ignite this young lady's desire to live. Was he trying to guilt trip her into not dying because so many people donated blood? And in the video, the caption by her was that she was just grateful for her sister-in-law, who apparently showed so much power for her. Couldn't the husband have just said something like, "We recently just got married. We still have a long life to go through together. We want to have kids," or something like that? Why bring the sister-in-law into this conversation? A comforting effect? I mean, if bragging can encourage the injured ones to survive, why do you even need a doctor? Just brag your way out of accidents and injuries. Now, secondly, there's also another detail I found that was quite funny when he came out to refute the rumors. He basically said that his sister-in-law is not a public official and that his sister-in-law is simply trying to help to find a way in which they could contact the Shanghai Health Commission. Now, the question is, what business does his sister-in-law have with blood donation, especially when it comes to across regional hospitals and public commissions when it comes to health services? Right, remember, they said this wasn't some sort of a personal decision on the part of the entire Tibetan region to bring people together to donate blood for her. There was no campaign of that sort. And so are we to believe that the sister-in-law magically has the magical mouth to speak the words to get those in Shanghai to listen, who then somehow controlled those people in Tibet to do the blood donation? Anyways, the whole thing is really convoluted, but here's the question, right? Since blood donation is supposedly organized by the local hospital in Nagari Prefecture in Tibet, as the officials claim, and the local health commission itself, why did your sister-in-law have to talk with the people in Shanghai? Sure that these people, the couple, they're from Shanghai, but they're thousands of kilometers away in Xinjiang or in Tibet. And if those people really organize their own blood donation, which I think is personally a big lie, what is the significance of the sister-in-law in the first place to begin with? Really confused. Anyways, it's a given that they have special connections because over the years, people in China have learned that there is clearly a special set of rules, or you can call it double standards, enjoyed by the Communist Party officials and their immediate family compared to regular people in China. And we can give her the benefit of the doubt, right? After all, we don't live in that society. We may not know the full story. Well, most of us don't. The reason that the Chinese public reacted this way is not without reasoning. It's because they've seen too many cases of abusing power for personal gain in China. And it's also, they've seen too many incidents where people simply show off their wealth and flaunt their power online or in real life, inadvertently exposing corruption in the process. So people react to this because they know that's what the most likely outcome of these cases are. Now, some internet users call themselves "we poor people are just their mobile blood banks." And even some civil servants weighed in. They said that this incident has turned the government workers into private mobile blood banks, saying, "Are we working hard to pass the civil service examination just to be your rich people's blood banks?" And saying that our lives matter. Well, random civil servant, in case you didn't know, in China, only Communist Party officials' lives matter. Sounds like some dystopian film or book if you think about it. A royal princess cultivates a farm full of blood supplies. Bunch of squiggly things moving around. And then when you zoom in, oh my god, it's humans. Other netizens are also saying, it's your honor to transfuse blood to the princess. And you're not even qualified to do that if you're just an ordinary citizen. You must at least be a civil servant to donate. Status and rankings, I tell ya. Anyways, many compare her to former leader, Premier Li Keqiang, who recently was pronounced dead within a span of a few hours after he was sent to the hospital after suffering a heart attack while swimming. Li Keqiang only got efforts worth a few hours from top doctors in Shanghai. So people are saying that he's rolling his graves, crying about the fact that he's watching doctors keep this girl alive for 4 days, spending so much effort, people donating blood to her. Yet for Li Keqiang, it was a span of a few hours, and they gave up. Somehow, she had enjoyed more special privilege than the former number 2 of China. Now, I'm glad that she's able to recover. I'm not trying to curse her and wishing her death. I'm simply saying that precisely because of what it took to keep her alive, this sounds exactly like something out of in a dystopian society, right? You have people who think that it's somehow unfair or unjust to look at people like this and say that, well, they actually exist in society. But let me tell you, this is quite common in China. As long as you have power tying to the CCP, you can pretty much get whatever you want. Look, I get it. Voluntary blood donations happen all the time, even in China, but it's not happening in this case. Simply because we know that the ability to mobilize civil servants from another province in the first place is already overreaching for health officials. Hospital treatments goes to those that have money and power. And of course, but when you get better treatments or you get priority compared to those who can't even afford to treat their illness because of how corrupt the Chinese medical system is, and then you post it online, that's when people start to view it differently. I'm sure this girl had no intention of trying to flaunt her problem. She was simply trying to document her journey to recover, as this was a life-changing event. Perhaps she thought that this is normal, how people in China would be treated if it happened to anyone else. But that's not the experience of many in China. Now, I took a look at the company that her dad hired for the private jet to send her to the hospital. Now, according to them, a Gulfstream 450 ride cost about 220K RMB or 31,000 US dollars. I'd assume that price is higher for a longer distance and a newer model. And the overall hospital fees, we don't know how much she paid in that, could be millions of yuan. But here's something you might not know about China's medical insurance. Normally, medical insurance as we know it is you have a deductible, aka how much you pay out of pocket. Before then, the rest of it gets covered by insurance. In most cases, up to a certain amount, insurance will cover the rest. But in China, it's a very specific set of requirements for insurance copay. For example, only some of the coverage involved with drugs and procedures they have to be domestic brands or cheaper procedures, but those may not be suitable to cure your illnesses or not as effective. The concept of treatment cost ceiling is science fiction too in the eyes of Chinese people. So in China, there is a ceiling for medical insurance where after a certain amount that they spend to cover you, if the treatment still exceeds the cost, then the rest you still have to pay. That's really normal in the eyes of Chinese people. Of course, there's also exceptions, right? There's different levels of insurance. If you're working for the government or if you're a party member, you may not have to pay anything. But if you end up, in a hospital and you need some special treatments for certain diseases, you might not be covered under your insurance. And it's all coming out of your pocket. It depends on your residential status, your social status, rural or urban, residential permit, all these things, right? Often it leads to suboptimal treatments being done, and essentially you're paying everything. There's videos that I always see of people unable to treat their kids because they don't have 250,000 yuan in their pockets, something like 30 to 40,000 US dollars. In the cases that I'm aware of, at least in the US, you'd be paying like thousands of dollars, still pretty expensive. But if that treatment is something that would be like hundreds of thousands of dollars, you'd be covered by the rest with the medical insurance. Now, considering this woman, Yu, her case of terrible accident could rack up to millions in medical cost, and I seriously doubt she paid any of it. So this girl, of course, is the latest in what Chinese people call wealth flaunting or privilege flaunting. It's not just unique to China, rich people are everywhere, but it's only gotten worse as the entire society becomes more anxious, and it gives the clear double standards in China today a clear presentation. If the CCP wasn't constantly saying stuff about common prosperity or saying they're working for the people, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Heck, people would probably even aspire to be rich in China so that they can enjoy this type of stuff. But now, under the context of socialist propaganda, people see hypocrisy more than anything else when it comes to special privilege of the CCP members. Recently, a woman with the online name of Arctic Catfish, who showed off her grandfather's 9-digit savings, caused public outrage in China too. The so-called investigation by the authorities dragged on for a very long time, and then by the end of it, they only punished her grandfather lightly. And that really doesn't instill confidence in people to believe that the government is doing anything good. All right, let's spend some time at the end to talk about this new mysterious disease in China. As of today, similar outbreaks are happening or being documented across Europe and Asia. In Europe, with countries like Denmark, Sweden, and the Netherlands, France reporting symptoms like what is happening in China. An 8-year-old child in Jiangsu province suffered a brainstem infarction and a large blood clot after contracting the new pneumonia. Of course, there's also issues with the potential for vaccines. China requires everyone to get vaccinated multiple times, and of course, we know problems with these. But more schools in China are suspended at the same time. This is happening prior to their winter breaks. And we've got to get information from the Chinese government, which of course they're not giving us. They've made it clear, however, that there's not a new virus or pathogen involved. Unfortunately for us, we have no way to confirm this, so we can't trust them. Information I received suggests that this has become a nationwide problem in China and is infecting now not only children but adults again. And it has not been made officially a pandemic by the WHO, but the core issue is that no one is certain what's really causing it. The CCP now states that there are 7 pathogens mixed in together at the same time in Chinese hospitals and their diagnostic records. And so that means that any one of them could be a new virus, could be a new pathogen, could be spreading across the world. Although the Chinese officials maintain that mycoplasma pneumonia is still the main cause. But that is very curable in a country without so much antibiotic resistance, which is not China. But what I fear is the lack of criticism for China at this time. Well, it is shaping up to be a repeat of 2019. Heck, even after the 2003 SARS, which also started in China, it's like the world's government, all of them, learned nothing. No improvement on pandemic prevention, no investigation into COVID, and when Australia tried to ask the CCP to ask for the origin of the COVID-19, the CCP retaliated. So are we really just sitting here for the same thing to happen the third time? All right, that's it today for the episode on the Chinese blood tank sister. And if you enjoy the content, leave a like, comment below your thoughts, and subscribe to our channel today. Until next time, I'm David Zhang. This is China Insider.